Next up on the tee, she is a USGA champion that spent a bunch of time on the LPGA Tour and the Ladies European Tour, playing all over the world, paving the way for the popularity of women's golf that we see today. It's Tracy Hanson joining us on the Course of Life. Tracy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got connected through a mutual connection of ours who was recently featured on the show, former NFL wide receiver Jeremy Davis. I saw you got to play a little bit of golf with him as well, too. What was your experience like playing with a former NFLer on the course?
Well, there's a part of Jeremy that he's just so uniquely human
Yeah.
that he really doesn't come across as this NFL player. He is just full of life. He is addicted to golf. And unfortunately, he had a little, instead of his normal partner, he had a little arrow in his quiver. He had another pro join him. And so they ended up beating me for 9 holes. But Jeremy just he's just a good man. He's about to be a dad. He loves life. He loves Jesus. And this man, I've never met somebody probably as addicted to golf as Jeremy.
He is very into it indeed. If you want to watch that video, it's the Golf and Gospel YouTube page to check it out. But you're going to have to maybe just bring one of your old tour friends next time a match comes around. Surprise him with a surprise guest of your own. I think that's probably the plan.
Right,
next time
exactly. Yeah.
Love that.
Or we'll go head up, one-on-one.
Yeah. It's awesome. That was cool to see, and it was cool to see your personality shine in the course with Jeremy as well, too. It's great having you here to tell your story as well, too. And I saw in researching you that you're actually born in a place that's a very interesting golf destination for a very unique icon, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is home to what I understand and what I've seen is a golf course that has a floating green on a par 3. Is that right?
Yeah. And so I grew up in Idaho before that became a destination or an icon. I think I was in college when they built that course, but it is called Coeur d'Alene Resort. And it is a purely floating green. You actually take a boat to it.
Wow. Awesome. How many times have you played that course?
Oh, I've played it a handful, maybe 10 times.
Best shot on that hole was how close?
I think I've birdied it one time. And I'm happy with a par. The green is actually bigger than you think when you get onto the green, but it can play anywhere from like 125 yards to over 200 yards, and usually some wind in your face coming off the lake. And so it's a very intimidating hole.
Definitely, indeed. I've always seen photos of it. It's on my list to get to one day, for sure. So that was very, very cool to see that you were born in that landmark. And then, as far as your golfing career, as you were growing up playing golf, was it always the idea of I'm going to play this game professionally, or how did your childhood work? Your childhood relationship with sports work, and when did golf kind of really become the focus for you?
Yeah, it's a great question because I grew up in the north, so we had snow in the winter. And so I really only played golf in the summertime. And I started playing tournaments when I was 10, and I started winning trophies. So it was the trophies that really got me attracted to playing more golf. But I was also a lover of basketball. And I played basketball all the way through junior high and high school, and actually was on a state championship team.
Wow.
And probably loved basketball a little bit more than golf in those years. But golf was always, like summer golf was what really was going to make or break my future in golf. Because Northern Idaho high school golf was not necessarily the cream of the crop. So I had a coach, Randy Henry, who developed Henry Griffith's golf clubs, that he believed in me before I ever believed in myself. And it was really from his words of encouragement, his presence in my life, that I just went from one level to the next level to the next level, and eventually believed that, okay, I can play college golf. Earned a scholarship to college. And then it was probably my junior year of college that I started to believe that I could play professionally.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. And I had a golf and basketball background as well. Also, I grew up in the North in Massachusetts. So it was pretty much, yeah, like May to September, like get all the golf in you can. And the season was very limited. So that's cool that you got gravitated there with the help of a coach to get you into golf more. And then it ended up getting you into college, which is when you had that, I understand, that USGA championship victory. It was the 1991 U.S. Women's Pub Links event. Now, for people who don't know that event specifically, explain the context of the Pub Links event and what makes it unique in the USGA calendar.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't play the event anymore.
Yeah.
I think it was replaced by the 4-ball.
Right.
But the Public Links Championship was really created for public golfers. So you got country club members and you got people who play public courses. And it kind of gave the avenue for all those public golf course competitors to have a championship for them, for us, because I grew up on a public golf course. But it was like any other USGA event. Same setup, same just the way they present a championship, challenging courses, 2 days of qualification to get into the match play, and then full on match play. I don't know if I played seven matches in order to win. I think it was.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was the second time that I had played the championship. The year that I won in 1991.
Interesting. How about match play as a format? Did you have a lot of experience with that growing up, and how did you approach match play?
You know, in general, American golfers don't play a lot of match play unless you're just out playing with your friends for fun. So it was good and it was hard. I mean, it's such a different mentality because you can have one bad hole and or a couple bad holes, and one thing can change the momentum. And I think even in my championship, I had a lot of good matches that I just really kind of blistered through them easily. But then the championship round, I was behind for the first time the whole week and really had to fight my way back. And so I think match play affords that versus stroke play. Stroke play, it just takes one or two shots and then you can't control what other golfers are doing out there.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, it was an impressive notch on your belt in terms of getting that victory, because I know when you win a event like that, you have to work your way through a lot of different matches, no matter what type of USGA event it is. So that will live and stand the test of time for sure. And then it kind of helped parlay you through college into what would be a professional career. I'm curious, what was that shift like for you in life, moving from college to becoming a professional? Everyone kind of always has their interesting path and bumps in the road, finding themselves professionally. But what were those first few years like for you out of school?
Yeah. Well, my bump in the road is I had back surgery right after graduating from college, like 2 weeks after graduating. And so for me, that first year, I wasn't even sure if I was going to get to play professionally, depending on how my back recovered. So the first year was definitely challenging in that I didn't make it through qualifying school, even though I was like 3 months post back surgery, but I tried and I got to finals and I just wasn't physically ready for the endurance of it. And so it was kind of a blessing in disguise in that I went overseas and played in Asia, Europe, and then some of the mini tours in the States. I think I played in 13 different countries that year. That first year I was a professional. Not something I'd want to repeat, but it was also a really good life learning experience to be able to be in all these different cultures, to play all these different types of golf courses, to really have to manage myself as a young adult, take care of myself, really. So that was great and hard. And then the second year I went through qualifying school, I made it, got onto the tour. And then it's just a learning curve to play with the best women golfers in the world. And how do you show up every week, prepared, mentally ready, walking around the golf courses with the Betsy Kings and Beth Daniels and Nancy Lopez and, the golfers that were idols, growing up.
Very
And
cool.
so just to now, like, I'm among you, like that's probably a hard transition. I don't think the kids these days have that same transition as we did 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, why do you think that is? Is there a lot more association with the college golfers and the pro golfers? Is it a kind of program college thing, or why do you say that there's a little bit less of that?
I think it's what's happening in junior golf in the last 15 years or so with AJGA. AJGA is like it's a tour in itself.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's almost more of a tour than some of the mini tours. And so these young golfers are getting better instruction, nutrition, exercise, fitness, and they're getting these
playing the full circle and circuit and schedule. Yeah, when you say it like that.
I mean, they're playing at such a high competitive level at a younger age that by the time they get to college, it's like they're just one of many that could win. And then those same girls are heading to the tour, and so it's like, who's Lexi Thompson? Doesn't matter. I'm ready to beat you.
Yeah, I know. Well put indeed. And yeah, I mean, it's grown immensely too. And the women's college golf scene has grown tremendously as well too. And the girls junior competitive scene has grown tremendously too as well. When you look now at like the current state of women's golf through all those ranks, all the way to the LPGA Tour, and you think about how much has changed, what comes to mind when you think about the changes that you've seen in women's golf here in the last 2-3 decades?
Well, for sure, the length that these younger young ladies are hitting it. I mean, they're from when I was on tour, they're probably on average another 20 to 30 yards further. And that makes a difference. Now, the tour has also increased the yardages to their courses because of this. I'd say that they're just ready to win when they come out on tour. Like they don't need a transition period. They're just like, I'm ready. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go do it. They have teams around them more than what we did. Like they have their nutritionist, they have their fitness person, they have their agent with them. They have, they have this support team, because playing professional golf is very lonely.
Yes.
You have your caddy, but I mean, we would end up hanging out with friends, but a lot of times you're traveling by yourself. Sometimes you're staying by yourself. So it can be a very lonely experience. But today, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just say they just have so much more at their fingertips as well. And there's not a week that goes by that I don't see 5-10 scores that are around 64, 65, 66. Like they're shooting them like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's really been amazing to see the progress. And I see it when I'm covering the tournaments and how much things are changing, for the better, and getting that bigger scope on the women's game as well too. They're, playing for $500,000 on average a week. Gino Titicul walked away with $4 million at the end of the CME Group Tour Championship.
Yeah.
How does that compare to the purses that you remember for your playing days?
Oh, the U.S. Open wasn't even probably a $4 million purse in the whole purse. So, I think our average purses were between $1 million and a $2 million purse would be a big one. So, they have so much money now. They're playing for it. The one thing that's different, however, is that because of how international and global the tour is now, there is probably a shrinkage of the number of players that are making or have access to all that money that's out there today, because you got so many limited field events over in Asia and Europe that not the whole membership doesn't get access to that. So there is a little bit of a shift of like where maybe 100 to 125 players were making enough money to survive. I think it's a fewer number on the tour today. Yeah,
well put indeed. Again, it's Tracy Hanson joining us here on the Course of Life. Played a long time on the LPGA, and now we see you on the Legends of the LPGA as well too. For people who don't know, that's the circuit for ladies 45 and up. and it's an awesome way to showcase the legends of the game. What's it like being out there at those events and the camaraderie with the ladies out there?
It's been, for me, it's been a journey back to golf, because when I left the LPGA tour, I was never going to play again. I was done. I just was tired, burnt out. So 8 years later, I turned 45 and joined my peers out there. And it's always fun when we get to a tournament and where you get to see each other again. It's almost like we never left, because we're out there grinding, we're out there hitting balls, we're out there on the course all day. We all want to win. We all have our competitive spirit. We're just a little older. For me personally, it's been a journey to come back to competitive golf.
What got you back at 45? I'm curious. What was it after that lightweight?
Well, part of it is I started a counseling journey for my own personal well-being a couple years after I left the tour. And I just had some things. I had a story I needed to talk about that I never talked about a childhood abuse story. And as I started experiencing healing in my own heart, and I wrote a book about it, so if anybody's interested, they could go read more of the story. But it was through my own healing journey that I felt like I had a talent and a gift given to me to play the game. And I wanted to start mentoring and giving back to younger players. And so starting to compete again, one, I wanted to test my own emotional well-being and where I was in my life at that point and now still, but also to help me stay credible in the game as I'm trying to mentor and make myself available to younger players.
No, well put. And it's a very nice thought to see that, even when you were away from the game, golf was there for you, just on the back burner, and it found its way back into your life. To help you along with your journey as well too. Finding My Course is the name of that book. People want to check that out on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you can find books. So definitely worth digging into that full story indeed. And I appreciate your candor with that as well too. So out there, when you're out there with the legends and the ladies you've been grinding away with right now, who are the legends that are out there that are taking all the prize money and winning all the tournaments right now?
Yeah, it's, there is a certain group that always kind of come up to the top, and it's the players that have never really stopped playing.
Yeah.
And never really had a long break. So, Lisa Lott-Neumann and Julia Sergis just got on this year as her first year, and she's already won one tournament. Annika plays the Open. She doesn't play some of the other events just because she's got so many things on her plate.
Oh, yeah.
Julie Inkster plays.
Julie Inkster, I was about to say. Lisa Lott-Neumann, I looked. She won the Ladies European Tour money list, I think, the year that you won out there, maybe. So I was doing a little throwback research. So it's good to see that she's still dominating all these years later in your presence. So.
Yeah, she's still phenomenal. Like, her swing has never changed. She's just this fluid, beautiful, strong swing. Tris Johnson has won the U.S. Open. Lita Lindley won the U.S. Senior Women's Open.
Okay, nice.
Becky Morgan won the U.S.
A friend of ours who we had on the podcast recently is Angela Stanford as well too. So who I've seen has had her go at some of those events, and she's a grinder. She what was on the road to close to 100 majors played in her LPGA career. What do you think about her game just in general, and also the idea of her being as a mentor and captain for the Solheim Cup team in 2026?
Yeah, you won't find a more intense competitor than Angela Stanford. And she's brought that to the legends of the LPGA Tour. So I think she's already won twice or three times in 2 years that she's been eligible to play. She is out to win. She does not like to lose. And I think, the Solheim Cup is a totally different animal than just normal tournament golf. And I respect any captain that takes on that job. I mean, it's a excruciating hard job. to be able to put a team together. Some part of the team is they earn their way on there. So, and then she gets to pick, but to be able to put all of those personalities together to find the right fit for the twosomes and the teams. And, I think she'll be great. She'll surround herself with a really good team to help her put all that together. But she's going to be out there to get that cup back.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see her lead from the front with Team USA in 2026. We'll definitely be following that and all the women's golf headlines in this year to come. A couple more quick shot questions for you, Tracy, before we sign off. It's a two-parter on the LPGA. Current players these days, maybe like your favorite swing, and then maybe like your favorite like personality. Who do you like and enjoy to see out there on the LPGA Tour these days?
Yeah, well, I really love Nelly Korda's swing.
Yep.
Now she has height and just her precision and her ability to bring the golf club back to impact the same way every time. I kind of covet her swing. I'd like a little bit. I watch her swing. I'm like, now how can I do that?
Yep.
But she's younger and more limber. There's a lot of girls that are retiring, and Lexi Thompson, she's still going to play a little bit, but she brings a personality to the tour. Some of the internationals that are coming on board, they're just so strong in their mechanics of their golf swings. And I think there's a lot to learn from them. Personality wise, I must admit, I don't watch a lot of the tournaments. And so I don't have a good versatility of all the personalities out there anymore. I spend more time with the Epson Tour girls.
Okay. Nice.
And so I'll put out a shout out Haley Cooper, Leticia Beck, a couple of the Epson Tour graduates. They're going to be fun personalities to watch out there too.
Nice. And we had Mia Hammond on the show a few months ago, where we got her on our radar as well, too. So she notched a win there in 2025 as well. Last question for us is our 19th hole question. So when you get into the clubhouse after a great day on the golf course, it's meal time. What's your order? What's your meal and your drink that you like to have on the 19th hole?
Oh, geez. I would probably go... either like a good solid turkey sandwich, or if I'm really it's been a little while, I might have a good juicy burger.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. And what are we doing to drink with that? Are we going soda, water, tea, lemonade, something jazzier?
I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but I do like a nice smooth lager. So I might have a beer if it's been a hot day. Otherwise, I'm pretty much a water drinker.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, Tracy. Look forward to following your journey on the Legends of the LPGA Tour as well, too, and hit them straight out there.
Thanks so much for having me.